Peace, Farmer Courtney here. I just got back from a grocery shopping trip, and kind of that involves me driving around to all these different areas and doing kind of a big loop to get back here with some goods from town. And I was just contemplating, the longevity of the guidance from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and how he's been warning about famine for a very long time. And I had picked up this book called The Third Horseman: Climate Change, the Great Famine of the 14th Century. And it details the time period from May of 1315. It started to rain, and it didn't stop anywhere in Northern Europe until August. Devastating. I can't even imagine that. Like, absolutely devastating. You would not be able to function. It would just be so decimating. And aside from that, anything that you had could just be so spores and mold ridden and damp, and just such a nightmare. And then they say next came the 4 coldest winters in a millennium, and then 2 separate animal epidemics killed nearly 80% of Northern Europe's livestock. And so that's one devastating kind of climate and environmental thing. And then you put in the mental state and the decision making of the rulers and the leadership. And then they go on to say that wars between Scotland and England and France and Flanders, 2 rival claimants to the Holy Roman Empire, destroyed all remaining farmland. And after 7 years, the combination of lost harvests, warfare, and pestilence would claim nearly 6 million lives, 1/8 of Europe's total population. And so I was thinking about the teachings because, this ahistorical society, or I think that's what it is. We're just so far removed from the actual facts of history and things being presented to us in a way that informs and empowers our thinking for now. I've gotten some comments when I put up different posts just trying to have a conversation about what is the equation that leads to famine in the first place, kind of thing, is really at the root of why I want to have these conversations. Because any coach that I've ever had in my life that's been really meaningful has had this concept of reverse engineering, right? So it's like, if we don't want to be facing famine and the lesser degrees of suffering before you get to full-blown famine, like, what should we be doing, right? And I guess I was really thinking about it on the way home, because I had to assess how much I was like, I used to expect leadership and guidance from places that just didn't have a wellspring to offer leadership and guidance around this issue from. Specifically, like the local food co-op. When I was there today, he said, and my cashier mentioned, I haven't seen you in a while. And I just kind of casually was like, yeah, I don't really shop here anymore. I used to be the only spot that I would shop, but we kind of broke up. I'm not tight like that anymore. And it was a quick exchange because I'm checking out. They had this ironic slogan that used to say, like, you belong here, because I didn't actually break up when I first saw the different things that were going on that bothered me, because I had to figure out how to fill those gaps and shop other places and source those things, or just reevaluate what my relationship would be like. Instead of going in and enjoying lunch and then shopping and things like that, I would just make the time shorter and the much more focused and just like real business like. But when we first moved here, and I still have the paper, there used to be herbal first aid classes. I would attend different cooking classes, real simple things that were essential, for people. And I loved that community aspect of it. So for me, I just felt like I know that I'm absolutely, like, not the flavor and the direction that they're looking to go, and I'm always just going to be opposing what is going on. And I just didn't even have that much time. Or I did get elected to the board of the food co-op, and then I found out that I was pregnant with the twins the next week. And so I just thought, okay, that's not meant to be, because there's no way I'm sitting in 3-4 hour board meetings, once a week with coming in from the country. And it was really clear to me. Actually, I went to one governance meeting and I got to see, this is how you govern this. Oh, no wonder, like things are kind of in a feeling of unraveling. And so, anyway, not to be, going off too much about the local food co-op. I've never ran a food store. It's always been, a dream of mine. If like I could just have some little business, I would run a little health food store. But I know that, it's not a hugely profitable business, especially now with like all the online everything and the availability and all of that. But that was just a moment where I was really just thinking about the weight of the teachings, So now what sounded like when the Fall of America was first published sounded like, wow, that's like, is this science fiction? Now we have a similar scenario with like the environmental. While it's not raining May through August, it was a very wet year. People did have trouble putting in some of their crops in the major, staple and grain producing areas. And there's just been a lot of different weather factor pressures. That's where the pressure is coming. Weather pressure is coming. And it's not about micromanaging people's daily lives with all of these different narratives of creating neurosis about people's individual lives, while all of the bumbleclaw billionaires just run things and do whatever they want without a hint of real oversight and regulation. Like that's not the play. But so now if you were to read this and it was and just change the dates and change the names, like how different are we at right now? We have very extreme weather in different places. In fact, I saw a special, I didn't have a chance to really watch the whole thing yet because I want to take notes, called Is Tornado Alley Moving? Just because these meteorologists are like, we don't know what the hell is going on, and so it just got me anchored into just being grateful and thinking about how am I going to organize myself better to do better with studies and to have more of an attitude and a feeling like Minister Abdul Hakim was reminding us to have in speaking about the Messiah and speaking about the representation of God in this hour. And that I have a lot of work to do. But anyway, this is a small, tiny part of it. This is number 26 of my posts, just in appreciation for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and his 67 years of service in the Nation of Islam. I haven't done this ending in a couple of times because I just was having storage issues and this and that. But that I had to keep going because I had made stop and start and excuses and this and that. So they're going up, not perfect. But anyway, I am determined to, for 67 consecutive days, to just put up a video of some kind. I pray that they'll be of some decent quality for the majority of them. But some of them might be a little dicey, choppy, kind of whatever. But that's the spirit, is just, different observations, connection points, agreement, and just moments of awe, just look at God, look at all the moments of this time and what we can see and learn and prepare for and change, right? Making change in our thought process, our actions, how we, interact with the time, that we still have that opportunity. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. All right. Peace.